Hey everybody. So I just want to make this video titled "A Meme Does Not Educate the Religious," talking about false similarities between pagan religions and Christianity. Well, let me just put it this way. There's a lot of people out there making posts all over the internet, people writing whole books, regurgitating what other people say in other books of unproven claims about the origins of Christianity and stuff. And one of those regurgitations, of course, is nothing more well known than the Horace's Jesus claim. And when I try to tell some people about this, some of them listen, some of them don't. And I'm going to say this again, as I've said before. When one spreads false information like this, people that are doubting their faith, Christians that are doubting their faith in the Bible, that are researching and trying to figure out what they want to do, they want to continue to believe in Christianity or not, when they go and look up this stuff and they find out it's false, then they're going to think that all these people speaking against the Bible and trying to disprove it, they have no evidence and they're lying. I guess the pastor was right. I guess I should just keep my faith because those people down there are lying. And it's ridiculous. It's absurd because that's the kind of thing that will happen, and it's going to keep happening until this stops. People have got to stop posting false information about the origins of Christianity, false similarities about Horus and Jesus that don't exist. Horus was never baptized by Anup the Baptizer. He was not born of a virgin. Just look up the story of Horus. It's not hard. How was Horus born? Well, after Set, the evil god, cut up Osiris into a bunch of pieces, his wife Isis got all of his pieces back together, put them back together. She couldn't find his phallus, so she had to create an artificial phallus, so that way she could mate with him. And then she became pregnant with Horus, and then Osiris descended into the underworld. How is that anything like Jesus? It's nothing like Jesus. That's just absurd. How is that the same story as Jesus? Of course, the people posting those memes never talk about that story. No, because it violates their little belief system. Oh, no. The whole thing must be plagiarized from Horus. The whole thing. No. No, it's not. It's not. That's a fault. All those things, him being crucified, put on. There are no ancient Egyptian texts about him being put on trial, crucified, dying and rising again, for that matter. None of that. Nothing. And then it gets worse. Then they start saying, "Oh, well, they took it from Krishna instead." I just want to do this right now, just to show my utter disappointment. It's just as false as saying that Jesus is based on Horus. He's not. He's not based on Krishna either. Okay, well, minus the fact that his birth story involved him. Someone took him away in order to try to save him from a massacre of the innocents when, what was the king's name? Kamsa, I believe, tried to kill all the babies because he heard about a prophecy about Krishna overthrowing him. And he just didn't know which one of those babies was him. So it's kind of similar to the story of Herod doing something similar when it came to the story of Jesus in the New Testament, minus the fact that in the Old Testament, Moses was also involved in a similar situation when Pharaoh was also trying to execute babies trying to find Moses, and Moses was put on a little crib thing floating on a river or something like that. So it's more likely to me that they took the story from the Old Testament, not from a story all the way over there in India. But no, it has to come from another story, right? No, it's impossible that it's plagiarizing the Old Testament. Oh well, hold on a second. Let's clear something up with the word plagiarize. Wait a minute. Copyright didn't exist in the ancient world, didn't it? How can we use the word, oh, it was plagiarized? Copyright didn't even exist in the ancient world. They don't even realize, when people say that crap, they don't realize how silly they sound. Copyright did not exist in the ancient world. So how can something be plagiarized? The correct way of saying is, okay, inspired, and they took inspiration. Okay, that's better. Plagiarize? Give me a break. My goodness. My goodness. All right, well, let me just put it this way. You want the real similarities? If anyone wants the real similarities and stop buying these books from these modern authors that are spreading BS everywhere, just buy the translations of the ancient text, like the Mahabharata, the Plato's Dialogue to Timaeus, Hesiod's Theogony, the Coffin text, the Book of the Dead. Just buy it and read it yourself. Don't let other people tell you what it says, because they have no idea what they're talking about, especially the ones that are spreading false information everywhere. And when I ask them, any one of these people that believes that Horus and Jesus are the same person, I ask them, okay, name me a disciple of Horus, because apparently he has 12 disciples. So I want names. I remember someone responding to me, because I did not get an answer because there aren't any. Oh, it's just the rays of the sun, 12 rays of the sun. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? It's someone saying that it's actually a mimic of the 12 tribes of Israel would have a better argument than that. That's just total ignorance. Total ignorance. Oh, and last and not least, it just gets better than that. They're assuming that there is absolutely no evidence for a historical Jesus. None. Because these people like to say, oh, this guy's fake. He never existed. Oh, it's like it's impossible for somebody to exist and was deified into a god later after the fact. Like that never happened before. I can pull a couple examples right now off the top of my head where this has happened before. Akhenaten is one, and Alexander the Great is another. Oh no, but this can't possibly happen. Jesus, this must be fake. Must be fake. And then when somebody decides to quote Josephus and Tacitus to show that why they're wrong about that, oh, it's an interpolation. How convenient. So I guess Church Father Oregon, whom also quoted the text where Josephus mentioned Jesus, also admitted that he was never called Christ, which shows that there's an earlier version of Josephus with less interpolation that's still mentioning Jesus. I guess he's lying too, by the way. Is he lying too? Come on. Because that's just getting ridiculous at this point. It just is. That's why people need to do some more research and read the ancient stories for themselves. I can get the translations, and that's all they have to do. But just remember, whenever one asks them about the 12 disciples, they will never name it because there never was any 12 disciples of Horus. Never existed. He did not die and rise again either. Osiris did. Yeah, his father Osiris actually died and rose again in the myth, not Horus. It just shows how ignorant these people really are. I'm like, if his father Osiris is the one that actually dies and rises again and descends into the underworld, which parallels the story of Dionysus, where he descended into the underworld to rescue his mother, Semele, just as Jesus went to the underworld to rescue Adam. They all died and rose again too in different ways. That's verifiable. Anyone can read the text that mentions this stuff, and they can read the Bacchae. They can read the Osiris and Isis myth. They can see this. But no, again, it has to be Horus, right? Because, even though Osiris, his father, does die and rise again according to the story, for some reason, it's got to point to Horus, right? It's just sad. And I think I'll be talking about this again later as a reminder. Because it's just sad. But anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. I'll see y'all in the next video.